I'm giving away this fantasy-themed mystery box. It contains merchandise from The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I'll even be throwing in this Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings starter kit. So if you want to get your hands on it, stick around to the end of the video to know how. Christopher Nolan explores the life, legacy and scientific contributions of J. Robert Oppenheimer in this tense and amazingly acted film. Oppenheimer is portrayed as an arrogant genius with an extraordinary ability to visualize advanced theoretical concepts. He was revered while being greatly disliked and an unabashed womanizer, who also harboured leftist political views, but also a diligent taskmaster capable of managing the Manhattan Project, which thrust the world into the nuclear age and the brink of annihilation. Oppenheimer is told in several concurrent timelines from two points of view. Nolan opens with Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, at the height of the Red Scare in 1954. He's being viciously integrated by the committee from the US Atomic Energy Commission, or ACE for short. His security clearance is in danger of being revoked for associations with known communists and possibly Russian espionage. 5 years later, Lewis Strauss, played by Robert Downey Jr., former chairman of the ACE, and the man who brought Oppenheimer to Princeton after the Second World War, he sits before the Senate panel for confirmation to be President Eisenhower's Secretary of Commerce. Strauss is asked about his work with Oppenheimer and disputed events leading up to the creation of Edward Teller's thermonuclear hydrogen bomb. In 1954, Oppenheimer read a statement about his start in quantum physics and the people who were instrumental in shaping his career. Nolan then flashes back to a younger Oppenheimer in his 20s as an eager but frustrated student. He was obsessed with the work of Albert Einstein, played by Tommy Conte, and Niels Bohr, played by Kenneth Branagh. Oppenheimer believed in the existence of black holes, and questioned what happens to a supermassive star collapses into itself. A troubled Oppenheimer stares into space but thinks about the gravitational implosion on a subatomic level. The film's first act swings between the hearing and the seemingly unreal possibilities. He also vividly imagines particles in the quantum realm. Nolan uses visual effects to show the audience this chaotic state. He then begins a primer through character dialogue to explain the basic theories of quantum mechanics. This is a vital exposition that smartly doesn't get too detailed. You learn just enough to understand what makes an atom react and explode. The second act of the film dives deep into Oppenheimer's complex and sordid personal life. Many intellectuals in their 20s and 30s flirted with the communist ideologies. This is where Oppenheimer was introduced to people whose friendships would haunt and cost him dearly in the future. He also becomes enticed with the sharp and sultry Jean Tadlock, played by Florence Pugh. The devout communist intrigues Oppenheimer with her intellect and voracious sexual appetite. He also discovers his lifelong love for New Mexico. Nolan shifts the cinematic focus to sweeping, spectacular shots of the desert landscape. Oppenheimer's purchase of a ranch with his younger brother Frank would become key to developing America's top-secret nuclear research facility. The onset of World War II raises the stakes. Oppenheimer and the country's leading scientific minds knew the Nazis were pursuing a nuclear weapon. They knew a bomb of this magnitude had catastrophic range and aftermath. This is when Nolan introduces General Leslie Grove, played by Matt Damon. He's the no-nonsense and tough engineer who designed the Pentagon. He's given a blank check and supreme authority by the president to beat the Germans to the atomic bomb by all costs. Groves was keenly aware of Oppenheimer's reputation. He'd been closely watched by the FBI, and his communist learnings were all known. Oppenheimer's 3-hour running time is a masterclass of acting, character development, and film editing. Cinephiles and Nolan worshippers are going to be absolutely entranced by its dense plotting and stunning artistry. But with that being said, audiences should be aware that it's not a blockbuster action. Those expecting to see epic IMAX and nuclear explosions are going to be bitterly disappointed. There's no Terminator-esque scenes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki getting blown to bits. The entire first half of the film leads up to the Trinity test. It's incredible, but it's the only big bang you'll see here. Nolan isn't James Cameron when it comes to depicting apocalyptic doom. Oppenheimer is more of a courtroom drama. The Strauss hearings and any of his recollections are depicted in black and white for reasons revealed in the climax. And Oppenheimer's perspective is always in colour, because he thought out of the box and is always seen as incredibly sophisticated. Nolan never shows the big picture outside Oppenheimer's sphere. The Great War, Japanese casualties, and other historical events are shaped through dialogue and interactions. This is purposely done because Los Alamos, the town created in the Manhattan Project, was completely insular, as well as the brutal hearing that tore Oppenheimer apart. The film has excellent performances across the board, but two stand out in conjunction of Murphy's brilliant lead. Pugh is daring and graphically sexual as Jean Tatlock. It's rare to see A-list talent willing to do nudity for a role. We also have Emily Blunt, who co-stars as Kitty. She is Oppenheimer's divorced alcoholic wife and companion in his dark moments. She's a formidable presence against the walls, hunting Oppenheimer for his political beliefs. The contrast between these two women and their effect on Oppenheimer is mesmerizing to see. But one thing's for sure, Pugh and Blunt will definitely contend against each other when it comes to award season. Nolan's uncompromising vision deserves every accolade, but honestly, it isn't for everyone. Oppenheimer is not a traditional summer blockbuster. There's no CGI action, exciting characters, or adrenaline-pumping storyline. But it's a gripping, cerebral, and at times poetic interpretation of a truly exceptional man. But that's just my thoughts and feelings about the film. If you've seen it, I'd love to know what you thought about it in the comments below. And if you want to win this fantasy-themed mystery box, all you need to do are these 3 simple things. Leave a like on this video, comment on any of my videos, and subscribe to my channel, and one lucky random subscriber will be announced on the 31st of July. You can even hit that bell icon to keep up to date with my latest uploads and giveaways, such as my comic book giveaways every fortnight. And before I go, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching and to smash that like button. It's just a minor thing from you, but for me it's massive and it helps this channel grow. So with all of that being said, I will see you in the next one, but until then, take care.